What up, Salty Crew, and welcome back to another video. I have another PCOS video for you today, and we're going to be talking about how to get properly diagnosed. Surprisingly, 15% of women in the world have PCOS, and a lot of the times they don't know that they actually have it, or even on the opposite end of that, they get diagnosed for PCOS and they are incorrectly diagnosed and they don't actually have it. So we're going to be breaking down the 4 different criteria that you need to meet in order to be properly diagnosed for having PCOS. And then we will briefly touch on the long-term effects of PCOS symptoms and not addressing them and what they do to your health. But first, let me introduce today's sponsor, CCRM Fertility. CCRM Fertility is a global pioneer in fertility science, research, and treatment. They also offer access to a network of award-winning physicians, a full suite of fertility services, innovative technologies, and cutting-edge labs. CCRM Fertility also provides families the fastest path to a healthy baby. Their patients get pregnant 33% more than other US fertility-based clinics. And this is so necessary, especially today with coronavirus and the pandemic. It's caused so much stress and anxiety around getting pregnant. CCRM also offers CCRM TV, which includes in-depth videos on a variety of topics to help you navigate your fertility journey. These videos are available to everyone at www.ccrmivf.com/CCRMTV/. I will leave the link to that website down below in the description box. Also, make sure you check out CCRM on Instagram right here. Here's their handle. And thank you again to CCRM Fertility for sponsoring this video. I love ya. All right, so let's talk PCOS and how to get properly diagnosed. So there's 4 different criteria in order to get officially diagnosed that you have PCOS. And surprisingly, no, cysts are not a factor. I know it's misleading because cysts are in the name of the disease, but whether you have cysts or not is irrelevant to whether you have PCOS. There are women who have cysts on their ovaries who do have PCOS, and then there are women who have cysts on their ovaries who don't have PCOS. And then there are women who have no cysts at all that also have PCOS. So it's one of those things that has been blown out of proportion, but it's not really relevant to getting diagnosed with PCOS. I had the pleasure of talking with Dr. Rashmi about all of these different topics surrounding PCOS. I had tons of different questions for her. She's a doctor based in Texas, and she is an OBGYN fertility specialist, so she knows her. So in case you're wondering, that is where all my information that I'll be sharing with you today is coming from. So the first criteria of having PCOS is you have a cycle that's longer than 38 days. So this means when you start to bleed, the start of your period is day 1, and then the end of your cycle is the day before you get your next period. So that is the length of a cycle. And if that cycle is over 38 days long, then it's possible you might have PCOS. So if you're not already tracking your cycle, I highly recommend it. It's such a powerful tool for us women to know the different phases of our cycle and to use it to our advantage. So the app that I like to use is called MyFlow. It's from the same woman who created the book Woman Code, and in that book Woman Code, I also highly recommend picking up that book if you haven't. She addresses all different types of hormonal disorders like endometriosis, PCOS, hyperthyroidism, all those sorts of things. So they're really helpful if you have hormonal imbalances or you suffer from one of those. So moral of the story, track your cycle and figure out how long it is, and you'll usually notice a pattern. The second criteria of having PCOS is higher levels of testosterone. So a great way to figure out where your testosterone levels are at is to get a blood test or a urine test. Getting your hormone levels checked is so important, especially if you suspect that you have hormonal imbalances. If you want to check out the specific test that I recommend everyone gets who might have hormonal imbalances, check out this video here. I go over the whole thing. So as far as blood tests go to your doctor, ask for those tests. And then another great way to figure out your levels is to get a Dutch test, which is a urine test, and apparently that is actually more accurate than a blood test because it measures how your body metabolizes your hormones and certain vitamins. So it gets a more accurate read on your levels. The third criteria is excess hair and acne. So excess hair would be, you get those really thick, dark hairs on your chin, under your jaw. Some women develop like beards almost, sideburns, mustache. It's not fun, let me tell you. And then also hormonal acne. So acne around your jawline and your chin, the deep cystic stuff that no matter what you do, will not go away. And then the fourth and final criteria is getting a vaginal exam. So your OBGYN should not be looking for cysts. Like I said earlier, that is irrelevant. I mean, if you have cysts, it's good to know that you have cysts, but it doesn't factor into whether you have PCOS or not. What you want to tell them to do is look at the follicles. So if your ovaries, there's two sides of your ovaries. If one side has a lot of follicles and the other doesn't, that means that you probably have PCOS. So that's what you want to look for, the follicles, not the cysts. This was mind-blowing to me when Dr. Rashmi told me this, because no one talks about that. So if you want to get properly diagnosed, make sure you discuss those 4 things with your doctors and tell your doctor about the ultrasound and what you want her to look for. And here's the thing with hormonal imbalances and disorders like PCOS, endometriosis, stuff like that. It doesn't matter if you want to have biological children or not. Your hormones are a report card of your overall health. And if you don't address your side effects and the root of them, then they will have long-term negative health effects for you down the line. Specifically with PCOS, if it goes undiagnosed, you have the risk of developing diabetes or other metabolic disorders. And you're also 3 to 5 times more likely to have or develop anxiety and depression. So it's really vital that we take control of our fertility, of our hormones, get to the bottom of what is causing them, how we can treat it, and live our healthiest life. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want more videos like this, talking about PCOS, talking about hormones and how to naturally treat them, let me know in the comments below, and smash that thumbs up button because it helps more people see this video in the YouTube algorithm. And also subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I post a new video. And again, thank you so much to CCRM Fertility for sponsoring this video. Take care of yourself this week, eat good food, and I will see you in the next one.
Diet Coke ain't good for the soul. Give me that orange soda. Give me a grape like you see in the movies. Bubble to the top like a smoothie, you'll see. I'll do you like a 9 to 5.